Okay, so on this one, they're wanting us to do, we got a big voting thing. They're saying how many votes were cast. So you guys know where to go to count the votes, right? It's right up here. These are all the votes. So it's going to be 26 plus 20 plus 21 plus 5 plus 52 plus 15. We got to add up all those votes, right? So I'm going to use my calculator to do that. I could do it off the top of my head, of course, but I just hate to show off. So I'm just going to use my, I'm just joking with you. I'm going to use my calculator here. And I'm getting 139. Okay, I got 139 votes. Now, how many are needed for a majority? How do we do majority again? What does majority mean again? More than half. So we got to divide by 2, find out half, and then go up a little bit, huh? Yeah, right? Majority means more than half. So you got to take the 139, divide it by 2 on your calculator, and I'm getting 69.5. So that's exactly half. Right? But a majority is more than half. So what's a little bit more than that? 70. Everybody get on that majority thing? Just take the total, divide by 2, and then just go up to the next whole number. So 70 is just barely more than, and we know that's true, huh? 70 is 140. That's more than half of 139, huh? Okay, next question. Which candidate is the winner using plurality with elimination? Okay, so we're going to have to do the plurality with elimination method. Now, remember how that method works. Let me, I'm actually going to erase this just to get us some room here. Let's see, right over here. Whoops. That interesting. Anyway, so I'm going to do it up here. So remember, step 1, first place only, because it has the word plurality in it. So you should think first place. Whenever we're talking plurality or plurality with elimination, it's all about first place only. So looking at first place only, how many votes for A, B, C, and D? So how many did A get? A got 26 and 21, whatever that is. Yeah, 47. B got 20 and 15. So that's 35. C got 5. D got 52. Whopping 52. So anyway, so step 2, eliminate. That's why it's called plurality with elimination. You eliminate the lowest. So who's the lowest? C. Oh yeah, no question. C is out for sure, huh? So go back, and that means I take the whole table and I cross out C in every voter's thing, every voter's preference schedule. So crossed out C, and C's out. C's been eliminated. Again, this is what you'll see when they vote for an Olympic city. They kick out cities. Round 1, city will get kicked out. The lowest city's out. So that's the least favorite of the voters, right? So C is out, and then you do it again. So step 3, first place that's left. So I'll just say the first place that's left for everybody. So for A, well, oops, 20A gets those 26 people still like A best, and these 21 people like A best. Oh, and now these 5 people, like A best now, don't they? Everybody seeing that? A is now the first choice of those 5 people. Used to be C, but C has been eliminated. So among the candidates that are left, for those 5 people, their favorite, their new first place is A. Seeing how that works? They'll have to add that in for A as well. That's the only difference, really. What's that? 51, 51, 52, yeah. 52, and then B's going to be the same as it was. Only B's changed. B's still 35, and D is still 52. All right, so somebody's going to get eliminated. Who's out? Yeah, the lowest now. Yeah, come on down here. Step 4, eliminate the lowest. And the lowest now is B. Right, B's out. So C was out in round 1, B is out in round 2. So let me go back and fix that. So I'm going to cross out C and B, 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 C and B. Okay, so then you do another vote. So step 5. So new first place. And all we got left is A and D. So A, how many first place for A? Well, these 26 are A. These 20, now it's all down just between A and D. They prefer A, don't they? Among the 2 candidates left, A is their new first choice. Even though A was third choice from the beginning, but B and C are out. So if it's just between A and D, they're like, we prefer A. A is our new first choice among the 2 candidates left. Is that making sense? So that's 20. They get those 20. How about these 2? They get these 21. They're getting almost everything. They get these 5. And that's it. So what is that? 20, 40, 60, 71, 72, I think. I did my math right there. You can use calculators. And then D. Now we're going to do D. How many get D? Well, these 52, like D best, they always have. And these 15. 52 and 15. And so that's 67. So who wins the election? A is the winner of the election. 72. So A made it come from behind, right? Because from the beginning, D had that whopping 52. But as people were eliminated, they liked A better than D. And so A came from behind and stole the victory based on people's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place favorites. So now for the trickiest question of them all. Which fairness criteria, if any, were violated by this? So we got to figure out which ideas of fairness have been violated. Let me just tell you the answer. And then I'll prove it to you with as fast as I can. It's super long and tedious. The answer is going to be head-to-head criterion, which is also, by the way, called Condorcet. Goes by either name. Let me in fact show you from the notes. Grab the notes here, and I think it's this one. Yeah. So you have the notes. So the answer is going to be this Condorcet or head-to-head criterion. I'll just write it here. It's the same thing as head-to-head. I'll show why in a second, but let me just lay it out right now. It says basically if anybody wins all the head-to-heads, they should be the winner. Remember, these are fairness criteria. Don't confuse these with voting methods. So we have 4 ways to do the vote. And then we have 4 ideas of what it should be fair. See those different things? 4 ways of doing the vote, right? Plurality, board account, plurality with elimination. We're going to get one more in a bit called pairwise comparisons. And then we have 4 ways on your notes, 4 ways, 4 ideas of fairness called fairness criteria. And one of those, here they are. There's majority, Condorcet, monotonicity, and independence of relevant. We'll get to all those. Condorcet says if anybody wins 1-to-1, they should win.
So all 4 of those are active during any kind of voting?
All those are ideas of fairness. They're ideas of fairness. So they could be violated at any time.
Okay,
it's like me saying somebody shouldn't win an election who is selling drugs illegally on the side. Actually, we'd all kind of probably agree with that, right? Probably shouldn't become president if they're breaking, federal laws in the middle of running for president. Probably we'd all kind of tend to agree. So that's just a real simple fairness idea. So all these are just fairness ideas, is all they are. This should happen. Somebody should win. If this is the case, that person should win. That's what they basically say. Each of them say, if this is the case, that person should win. So majority says, if anybody has a majority, they should win. And number 2 says, if anybody wins all the 1-to-1s, they should win. So if they don't, something bogus is going on, something bad. It's not fair. All right. So now you might say, well, how do you know it's head-to-head, Mr. How do you know it's Condorcet? Well, because I cheated ahead of time and looked at the answers. But also I'll prove it to you now that that's actually correct. It's going to be slow and painful. And we've got to go through all the head-to-heads. That's why I looked ahead of time to find the answer. I don't want to get it wrong. It's slow and painful. In other words, I got to do all head-to-head. We've done this before. Remember how this works? All head-to-heads. You got to list it off. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to do A versus B. Then I'm going to do A versus C. Then I'm going to do A versus D. There's all the ones starting with A. Right? It's like a big tournament, big round robin tournament where everybody plays everybody. And so I've got to, there's candidates A, B, C, and D. So I've got to do A versus B, A, B, A, C, A, D. And then remember where you go from there? Then you start with B next, right? And you go, okay, starting with B. And do you have to go back to A? No, we've already got A and B are matched. Their matches up there, right? I don't need to backtrack. So no need to backtrack. You just go forward. BC, BC. Whoops, and messed that up. BD. There's all the ones starting with B. So there's all the A's going forward, the B's going forward, and finally the C's. And again, you don't need to backtrack. I don't need to do CA or CB. Here's CA. Doesn't matter what order, right? That's just a match between A and C. And here's CB. There's the match between B and C. No, we've already done that. You don't need to go back, right? So I just need to go forward. And so it's going to be simply CD. And then that's it. You can't start with D. There'd be no way to go forward, right? So you see how first off, you got to make sure you line them all up. You're like the tournament director. You're saying, all right, everybody's got to play everybody. Let's list out the matches first. And then we got to decide who wins each of those. Those are one-to-one, head-to-head matches. A, B, A, C, A, D. And then start with B, B, C, B, D. Just go to the end, right? Then start with C, C, D. All right. So now for each of these, painfully and slowly, we've got to determine who wins. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna erase all this because you can always look back in the video if you want to see it. And I need to have the voting thing right in front of my eyes to make it easy. I think this will be the easiest way, but my eraser's so slow. Here we go. It'll work. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to first off do A versus B. Let's see who wins. A versus B. So, all right. So I'm going to do it. Now, when you're doing a head-to-head, you see that up there. When you're doing a head-to-head, you are just doing those two. You're pretending the other candidates dropped out of the election. Remember this from last week? So in other words, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, okay, if it's just a head-to-head between A and B, it's like a tennis tournament or something, right? Just those two are meeting on the court to battle, or a boxing tournament or something. Just those two, nobody else, which means get rid of C and D. Let's just suppose C and D dropped out of the election. They didn't really. But let's just suppose C and D dropped out of the election for the moment, because I'm trying to figure out if it came down to just A and B, who do the people like better? If C and D dropped out and it was just down to A and B, what's the will of the people? Who do they actually like better? Well, these 26 would go for A. These 20 would go for B. These 21 like A better. These 5, who do they like better? A, right? These 52 like B. And these 15, these 15 like B. I don't need to get out my calculator. I can tell who won that. B. B clearly has more. So if it was head-to-head just between A and B, if you ask the people, hey, crowd, it's just A and B now, C and D dropped out or whatever, who do you like better? They would say, well, we prefer B. If it's just down to A and B, we prefer B. That's the will of the people, right? That's what head-to-head is all about. So now, see how tedious that is? Now that's all just A versus B. Now we got to redo that whole thing with A versus C, then A versus D, then B, C, B, D, it's just long and slow. I'm going to speed it up right now. So I'm just going to try to speed it up anyway. We'll see. So now I'm going to do A versus C. So I'm going to drop out B and D from the whole election. And just A and C now. These 26 like A, these 20 like C, these 21 like A, these 5 like C. Whoops, it's supposed to be a 5. Come on. These 5 like C, these 52. Oh, C's got it. 52, 50. Yeah, C's got it. All right, that's enough. I just go until I can tell. C won that, and that head-to-head matchup, they would prefer C. So that's, I've done A, B, A, C. Now I'm going to do A, D. And that'll be all the ones starting with A. Then I got to start with B. So here we go. A and D. Who's going to win that? Well, so I'm going to drop out of this for the AD, get rid of B and C, right? Let me drop, just suppose B and C dropped out of the election. So it's just down to head-to-head between A and D. Who do you people prefer? Well, these 26 say we like A. These 20 say we like A also. These 21 say we like A. These 5 say we like A. These 52 like D. It's going to be close. And these 15 like D. I do not know. I gotta do the math here. What's this? 67, and what's this one? 11, 12. Yeah. A won it. A won it. So A won that. Okay, so next I'm going to start with B. B, C, and B, D. You guys tracking with me? So I started with A, B, A, C, A, D. As far as I go, then start with B. Now only go forward again, B and C. Here we go. B and C. So if I'm doing a head-to-head match between B and C, that means if it's just B and C, that means A and D are out. So I'm going to drop A and D out of this election and just do a head-to-head with just B and C. Okay, here we go. 26, who do you guys like better? They like C. U20, who do you like better? They like B. U21, who do you like better? They like B. U5, who do you like better? They like C. U52, who do you like better? B. Oh, that's it. That's enough. B's got it, huh? B's got it. Got it. Okay. Does that make sense so far? All right, now I'll do B and D. Well, actually, you know what? Can we be a little bit smart just to save some work here? Why are we doing all this? What do we look for? We're looking for somebody who wins all their one-to-ones, head-to-heads, right? So far, everybody's lost one already, except for there's only one person left who could win all his one-to-ones. Right, you see what I'm talking about? Let me show you. A lost right here. He lost to C. So there's no way A is going to win all his one-to-ones. He's already lost one. C, the answer is going to be B. Only B has a chance at this. B has won both his one-to-ones. I just need to check B's other one-to-one. C has already lost right here. C just lost to B. So A's lost, C's lost, D lost right here to A. So everybody else has already lost one except for B. So B has the only chance of winning all his one-to-ones. So let's do the B versus D, and that'll tell us. So here we go. So I'm going to do the B versus D election. I guess I didn't really save any effort there. I thought I would be smart, but I got to do the next one anyway. I don't know why I did that. Never mind. All right, so I got to do B and D anyway. Got to do B and D, which means A and C are dropping out. So A and C are out because it's just a comparison with B and D. All right, U26, who do you like better? B. I bet B's going to win. And U20, who do you like better? B. And U21, who do you like better? B. Yeah, he's getting it. U5, even the 5 like D better. Now the 52 like D. And the 15, oh, they like B also. Yeah, see, B got it. So notice, I'm not even going to do the last one, guys. The last one would be C versus D, right? That's the last. To do all the one-to-ones, it's A, it's A, B, A, C, A, D, B, C, B, D, C, D. You could do it. You could do the C, D, but who cares? We have already seen, we're not just trying to do them all for the sake of doing them all. We're trying to find out, does anybody win every head-to-head? Yes. B already won all his matches, didn't he? The tournament's over. B wins every head-to-head. And so this is where the Condorcet criterion, also called head-to-head criterion, would say, look, if B wins all head-to-heads, he should win the election. That seems fair to us, doesn't it? Right? Doesn't that seem fair? Right? You with me? You guys with me on these fairness ideas? I made an analogy a second ago about if somebody was dealing drugs, I shouldn't. But how about I do it? That was a negative example. These are all positive, though. So let me put it positive. If somebody's the smartest and nicest person in the whole world, I guess they should be president. I don't know, maybe no, whatever. Let's just pretend. I guess that kind of makes sense. Somebody's the smartest person and the nicest person in the whole entire world, they should be president. That's kind of what these criteria are saying. That's what these, roll down and show them. That's what these fairness criteria they're saying. They're saying, if this happens, that person should win. And so the head-to-head Condorcet criterion says, if anybody wins all their one-to-ones, right? Any candidate wins in a one-to-one between it and any other, wins them all, it should win the election. Whatever method you're using, you better let them win the election or you're doing something unfair. Because head-to-head, one-on-one, they beat everybody. They're the crowd favorite. When you ask the crowd, who do you guys like better? Look back and think how you would feel if you were B, if you were candidate B. We asked the crowd. We said, hey, crowd, if it's just down to A and B, who do you like better? B. Oh, so you like me better than A. Yeah. And if it's just down to B and C, who do you like better? Oh, we like you better than C also. And then how about if it's me and D, B and D? Oh, we like you better than D also. So we like you better than A, we like you better than C, and we like you better than D. Well, then you like me best, don't you? Yeah, but who did we give the victory to? Using the what method? So using this method, you see how B would feel? B would feel like, that is a bogus method. That's ridiculous. Look at the one-to-ones. Look at my record. Right? You preferred me over all three other candidates in head-to-head, and somehow you're giving A the victory. I beat A right here. Right here, folks. One-to-one. You said you liked me better than A, and yet you're giving the victory to A? How could that be? That was the French guy Condorcet who observed any method that does that is not really a fair method. So in this situation, this plurality with elimination violated the head-to-head or Condorcet method, which means this method also is not completely fair. You're starting to see a theme? We have one more method to try, but so far we've seen all three methods can be unfair in certain situations. They're not always unfair, but they have the ability to do something unfair given the right circumstances.